Alright, hello everybody. Okay, so I know I'm kind of in the middle of another challenge, the whole midnight sun thing, but I came across this one and I just couldn't wait to try it. This is the Brothel challenge. And yes, it is exactly what you think it is. The rules for it, I'll go over in a minute, but you can play it without having to install any mods, but I have installed a few that'll make the gameplay a little, I wouldn't say easier, definitely not, but more interesting, to say the least. Okay, well, the first rule is you're supposed to buy the largest lot, and it's kind of funny, it's called a lovely lot. So you're supposed to have less than 3,000 simoleons after you buy the lot, but obviously that's not going to happen. So you can always just use the household funds cheat, which that's what I'll have to do. Or you can just like buy random trees or something like that. Okay, well, alright. I guess I can go ahead and give you all the rundown of how this is going to go. Okay, so first things first. The whole object of the game, the goal at the end, is to have a brothel that's really nice and have your total household simoleons at 50,000, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be harder than you think, I think. So you're supposed to first build your brothel, but I'm going to go through the rules first, let y'all know what's going on. The only way you're allowed to get money is to woohoo. You're not allowed to have a job or anything. You can get a client, have somebody walk by and then bring them in. And you can go out to community lots to, do your services and pick up clients, but only at night. And if there's a cop anywhere on that lot, then you have to go to jail, which means you just go back to the house or the brothel, and you're not allowed to woohoo or anything or take in a client, I'm pretty sure for a whole day. So since you can only go out at night, I would assume the entire next day. After each service rendered, you could say, you would ka-ching, but I have a mod, and I'm going to let you know, I haven't used these mods yet, so I'm going to have to figure them out a little bit. I have a mod, and I should be able to set the amount of simoleons I get, and I'm going to make it a little lower just to make this a little more difficult, since the cap is only at 50,000 simoleons. They're not allowed to get married or move out, though there are some, there's one person that's allowed to get moved out, but that depends on what traits they have. And they're not allowed to have the same client more than once a day. Okay. You can have anywhere from 2 to 5 number for your generations. It doesn't really matter. I chose 2 just because it's the lowest amount, and it would give me more room for, having different generations and not having them be so huge at first. What you're supposed to do is you're supposed to use a random number generator from 1 to 10, and you have to go on the site for the rules and everything to find out what the 1 to 10 traits are. But you randomly roll a number, and that determines the traits for your prostitutes, or sims, we could say, instead of using that word. So I had to do that. And yeah, I gave them prostitute names, Crystal Moon and Honey Star, and I kind of made their look depending on like what their name was that they picked. Honey Star, I rolled a 7, and that one is the athletic and brave traits. You can pick the rest of them yourself. I kind of picked clumsy daredevil and good sense of humor just to kind of go along with it, and I don't want to use any of the other traits that are in that list just to, I don't know, just to keep from like overlapping, or accidentally having them doing something that they shouldn't be doing. But the thing with her, since she has those two, is once she reaches, like, maxes out her athletic skill, she can, and also because she's brave, she can get with, you could say, the same client as many times as she wants. And I'm not exactly sure if that means she can, do services with him as many times as she wants in a day, or if she can get with the same client. I'm not really sure about that one, but the way I'm going to play is she can get with him like once, and then if she runs into him again in the same day, then she can, do services with him. This is my sim, Crystal Moon, and when I rolled for her, I got a 1, which is the kleptomaniac and mooch traits, or R, my bad. With those traits, that means she is the only prostitute ever who is allowed, or her or any other ones with the same traits, like her heirs, that are allowed to get money in any other way other than having clients. And that is mooching off of clients. And since she's a kleptomaniac, obviously she can sell the goods that she steals. And then for her, I picked Night Owl, which I kind of thought went along with the whole kleptomaniac thing, steal things at night, I don't know. Absent-minded was just kind of random, I don't know. And then evil, it just seemed to fit. So that's the thing with the Sims. There's 8 other ones, hence the number 1 to 10, the pair of traits, and they're all different. And each one of them has a different meaning in effect to what they can do in the brothel. Okay, back to the rules. Only female heirs, like if you have mods like I do, and you want to have an all-male brothel where you can change the mod where they get pregnant, then this doesn't really apply. But I chose to do the female one just to stick to that, so I don't have to worry about that part of the mod. Only female heirs can count for the next generation. And whenever they're born, you have to, generate the number that their traits are going to be. And you want to try to help them have the best childhood and, teenage years, so you can get them those 2 traits. Otherwise, they're not allowed to be an heir. And as what it means for only heirs count for the next generation, as in the next generation of prostitutes. So if they don't have those same two heirs, or those 2 traits that you rolled for, that they have to have, you can't just re-roll or just keep them in. As soon as they're old enough, they get kicked out because they're not an heir anymore. That's pretty much that. I already told you the goal. There are a couple of things that kind of go aside from the whole, how much money you get. You're supposed to type in ka-ching twice if the client is thought of as rich by the game. If you find out that the law enforcement, or that the client is in the law enforcement career, then you have to woohoo with them for free, so you don't get any money from them. So it'd probably be best to ask for their career before the services are given. If you find out that you have a shared trait with that person or the client, then you also get ka-ching ×2, or the payment ×2. So what I'm going to do for that is just whenever I set the mod, for however much they're going to get for each time, I should say, or for each client, I'll just, use a cheat, I suppose, to add that much, twice that much. for that or whatever. I'm sure you know what I mean. There's a couple other things, like restrictions, I guess you could say, money-wise. If you can't, okay, 5,000 simoleons or over, you can get a smoke alarm. 20,000 simoleons or over, you can get a burglar alarm. 30,000 or more, a babysitter and a maid can be hired. 40,000 or more, you can woohoo with the same client 3 times in the same day, if not rich. And at 50,000, obviously that's the end of the challenge and you've won. That's pretty much it. I'm going to go for now, and once I get everything settled up, we'll come back and see where it goes.